our Milky Way, nearly 2 trillion planets are missing. And we cannot even track them. Now, before understanding this, you must already know that in this universe, every object is connected to each other due to gravity. For example, our Milky Way galaxy is formed by connecting many star systems, i.e., solar systems, and a solar system is formed by combining stars and many planets, asteroids, and small celestial bodies. And upon entering the world of the internet, you must have already learned that in the Milky Way, there are at least 100 billion stars like our Sun. Now, just imagine, if around every star, on average, 3 to 4 planets are also orbiting, then how many planets would there be in the Milky Way? You're unable to calculate. Well, if we simply calculate, it's 400 billion planets. But here's a twist, and that is that there are even more planets present in the Milky Way than this. And those planets don't belong to any solar system. Instead, they have gone missing somewhere. And we call them the rogue planets or orphan planets. Now, take a look at this article present on the NASA website. In a recent research conducted by NASA and Japan's Osaka University, it has been revealed that the number of rogue planets in the Milky Way is more than 6 times that of normal planets orbiting stars. Meaning, there are more than 20 times as many rogue planets wandering in this galaxy as there are stars in the Milky Way. Now, if I tell you the number, it is estimated that there are around 200 billion rogue planets in the Milky Way. Yes, this number is so large that if it were distributed among the people of India, each person would receive approximately 1,500 rogue planets. Now, NASA believes that in May 2027, the Nancy Grace Roman Space Telescope, set to launch, will search for approximately 400 such candidates among rogue planets, whose mass and size will be similar to that of our Earth. But now the question arises, why exactly are we humans so invested in searching for these rogue planets? And is it possible for life to exist on these wandering planets in the Milky Way? Well, to decode this question, we need to understand a rogue planet in depth. According to this article from Universal Sci, the formation of rogue planets can occur in 2 ways. The first method aligns somewhat with the formation of stars, where a cloud of dust and gas collapses, and at its center, the formation of a spherical object occurs, like our Sun formed during the formation of our solar system. But unfortunately, it doesn't gather enough matter to become a star, so it keeps wandering the universe as a rogue planet. Now, the second method is the manipulation of gravitational force within the planetary system. Often, large planets present in a star system guide the smaller planets into their gravitational influence, showing them the way outward. Many times, this can also happen during a supernova explosion. And at certain instances, passing stars can create such disturbances in star systems. But after passing through the scenes of destruction, can the hope of life exist in these planets that have been expelled from their homes? Well, friends, when we humans attempt to search for conditions for life on another planet, our search revolves around these 3 things: air, water, and food. Now, speaking in a bit of technical terms, for life to exist on our habitable rogue planet, 3 ingredients must surely be present. Number 1. Variety of chemical elements. Number 2. Solvent. And number 3. Energy source. Now, if we talk about the most abundant elements in the universe, these are hydrogen, helium, oxygen, carbon, neon, and nitrogen. Now, whether you conduct a DNA test of the largest star in the universe, or that of the human body itself, these elements can be found everywhere. If we talk about solvent, then H2O, meaning water, is the basis of life on our planet. But it is not necessary that water is present everywhere. It is said that there are seas of methane on Saturn's moon Titan. And according to the article from America's National Library of Medicine, sulfuric acid could also be a possible solvent. But, could there be an energy source near these wandering planets in space, thousands of light years away from any star? Well, the answer to this is, perhaps not. Now, I'm saying this because Earth fulfills 99.97% of its heat energy requirement only from the Sun, and 0.027% of the energy comes to Earth from its internal heat, meaning the heat released from its core. Now, this makes it clear that from the movement of the air to the flow of water, and the growth of plants, For every physiochemical process occurring on Earth that requires energy, it is fulfilled by the energy received from the sun. But can the lack of the sun on rogue planets be compensated by something else? Now, look, no matter which food chain you examine in the world, its end is always on an autotroph. It means that in every food chain, there must be a photosynthesizer that converts the heat of the sun into food. And to obtain this food, we will need the energy of the sun or some other solid energy source. Now, if we compare it to the Earth, apart from the sunlight on our planet, Earth also receives a bit of energy from the decay of radioactive materials and the leftover heat present in the planet's core. But all these materials contribute only 0.027% to Earth's energy requirements. And a rogue planet of Earth's size would likely have a similar situation. The geothermal energy of a planet also cannot generate enough heat to sustain living organisms there. But, if you look at the articles of Science News, there may not be life on rogue planets, but life could exist on their moons. Yes, indeed, a planet without a star is possible. But it's not written in any physics book that rogue planets cannot have moons. But the question arises, how can life's conditions finally be created on a rogue planet's moon? Well, to understand this, first listen to this. Similarly, the moon of a rogue planet will also experience the attack of tidal forces on it. And my friends, tidal forces not only create turmoil in the waters of the ocean, but also generate friction within the planet. And this friction is also a source of heat, although it won't have a significant impact on the planet's overall temperature. But just as a moon exerts tidal forces on a planet, similarly, a planet also has its gravitational impact on the moon. And this also generates friction on the moon's surface. Now, with this friction, enough heat will be produced to ensure the presence of a liquid solvent on the moon's surface. And my friends, we get to see its prime example around Jupiter and Saturn, where due to the strong gravity of this planet, it is said that there are subsurface oceans beneath the surface of Europa and Enceladus. Now, look, from this entire explanation, the broad conclusion that emerges is that rogue planets may not be suitable for sustaining life like humans, but at least there could be enough heat present here to allow the presence of liquid water or some other solvent. And if not on the rogue planet itself, then there are quite high chances on its moon. But brother, are we humans only meant to survive by drinking water? If we want to search for the existence of life on a particular rogue planet, then we'll have to look for some source that provides food for the life forms there. Now, in the case of Earth, it's our sun, whose energy is utilized by plants performing photosynthesis to grow food for us. And from here, the food chain begins on Earth. But is the energy from the sun the only method for synthesizing food? Well, the answer is absolutely no. Now, take a look at this article available on the National Geographic website. In the year 1977, when a team of scientists was conducting research in the ocean near Ecuador's Galapagos Islands, they noticed that the water temperature in this area of the eastern Pacific Ocean was changing rapidly. Meaning, the temperature was changing from 0 to 400 degrees Celsius within just a few meters of distance. But what was the ultimate reason behind it? Well, this was happening due to the presence of hydrothermal vents on the ocean bed in that area. Hydrothermal vents are cracks present on the ocean floor, from where hot water continues to emerge due to geothermal energy. But scientists noticed that even far from sunlight, in those extreme temperature and pressure conditions, some organisms were able to survive. And this became possible due to chemosynthesis. These organisms were extracting energy from the toxic minerals and other chemicals emanating from hydrothermal vents. And not only organisms residing in the deep oceans, but also many organisms living beneath ice and in caves on Earth are synthesizing their food through chemosynthesis. It is not possible that out of the 200 billion rogue planets in the Milky Way, none of them have any living conditions. But what if I were to say that not only does life exist on such a rogue planet, but the life present on Earth owes its existence to that very rogue planet? Now, look, our solar system is approximately 4.57 billion years old. And the formation of our Earth occurred around 4.54 billion years ago. Scientists believe that life on Earth could be around 4.2 billion years old. Meaning, within a span of approximately 300 million years, everything from the formation of Earth to the evolution of life had already begun. Now, if we take a look at the formation of DNA, it is a quite complex process. Amino acids, by connecting in any structure, cannot form the evolving proteins of life. Amino acids need to combine in a very specific way to form proteins. After this, the long strands of proteins need to organize themselves in such a way that they become capable of replicating on their own. It's somewhat like having a puzzle with millions of pieces, and you solve it all at once. Now, it is not necessary that this will happen in just one attempt. But according to scientists, the time between the formation of Earth to the evolution of life was not enough for all permutations and combinations to have been tried here. This is somewhat like as if something has suddenly breathed life into D matter. Now, see, it's also possible that the steps we consider very tough may actually be quite easy. But the precise occurrence of each of these steps one after another, I would call this the mother of coincidence. Can it not be possible that among these 2 trillion rogue planets, life is thriving on some planet, and that same planet is spreading the seeds of life throughout the entire Milky Way? Now, finally, the panspermia theory related to the evolution of life also says the same thing. Who knows, the planet we call our own, we might just be guests there, meaning aliens, who came in search of an alien world and impressed us so much that we decided to stay here forever. What do you think about it? Be sure to comment below and let me know. And along with this, friends, from the time the Big Bang occurred until today, there was also a time period in between, when the temperature in this entire universe, that is, in this entire space, was so high that water could exist in a liquid state. Now, whether it be anywhere, even without any stars, water could exist there in liquid form. And scientists believe that during this time period, the beginning of the first life in the universe had already occurred, which gradually progressed and spread everywhere. Now, we have covered this entire topic in our video under the name Big Bang Alias.